Are you sick of the stereotype thing? Or it's like, is that one of the stereotypes, or like many, or?
I find it actually kind of funny, and all stereotypes have like a little bit of truth to them, so whatever.
Do you know any Asians who are good drivers, or?
I mean, it's not like we have accidents every day back home, so obviously we can't be that bad. But let's just say I'm not going to tempt fate and try driving here because my balance and coordination isn't exactly the best in the world.
So you trust Jason to drive you instead?
Yes, I trust other people to drive me places. And
you don't have a car on campus, right? No.
No, I'm not rich.
You're Esther Pang. I've noticed since the day I met you, a lot of your friends are like American or just like non-Asian. Would you say like, was it different for you freshman year? Would you hang out with only Asian kids, or like what was it like?
I actually didn't have any Asian friends here until about halfway through freshman year, and then there was one kid who was Asian, but he was born and raised in America, so he really wasn't Asian. And it's not like that I don't particularly like Asian people, it's more of the, I just find it easier to hang out with local American kids. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. I spent 18 years back home with a lot of Asian people, and I came here to study abroad. And so hanging out with more Asian people just doesn't really make sense.
Right, so you want to assimilate, you don't want someone to relate to. I mean, could you relate to, like, I'm guessing they're not only Americans, but could you relate to your friends here? Or?
Yeah, it's like, it's weird, but I feel more at home here in the States than I do back home, where I grew up. So that's kind of been a weird thing. And, like, I don't know, another thing is, like, I guess it's easier for me to assimilate than other, I guess, international kids here, because my English is... I'm fluent in English, let's just put it that way. And some of them aren't. They kind of struggle with the whole language barrier thing, so for them it's a little harder to interact with other people. For me, it's just kind of like if I don't tell them, sometimes people don't really know. First off, to clarify something, because a lot of people have misconceptions about Hong Kong, we are a free city, we have our own government, and that, like, complicated political system, relationships with China, but everyone has freedom of religion in Hong Kong. So, I'm a Christian, and back home, you know, I go to church, I was really involved in my youth group and stuff, and like, I like church. I like having, you know, a belief system. But a lot of my friends don't. They believe in other things. Some of them are Buddhist. Some of them are Hindu. Some of them are Catholics. And, like, back home it was just like, no one really cared about what religion you are. It's just kind of like one of those things. So, oh, okay, you're a Christian. Sure, cool. Here, I feel like everyone's a little more touchy on the subject of religion. I think it could be because it's so, strangely enough, it's like still really intertwined with politics, and then people just kind of, those two are the really touchy topics, and no one really likes talking about it. So it's a lot more difficult for me sometimes here, because I'll say something like, oh yeah, I'm going to church, and then I'll get looks from people, and then I'm like, okay, thanks. It's not like I'm dragging you along with me. I'm just saying I'm going to be busy on this day because I have this to do. But, so yeah, that's been kind of weird. So, that's kind of the one thing I like it better back home, is no one really cares what religion you are. Hey, you want to believe in what you believe in. So.
Silly American.
And, like, I like believing in something, and I like being with other people who share my beliefs. So, I mean, there are resources on campus for if, like, people who want to still be involved in your faith and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that there seems to be a lot more stigma about it. It reminds me a little bit of, like, you know, home and not changing that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's not like I go back home from college and then suddenly it's like all the things I used to do I stopped doing. I did have a pretty, like, good relationship with my teachers back home, except it was on a very, like, teacher-student level. It wasn't, oh, we're buddies, let's go get coffee together. It was very, yes, you're my teacher, and I will like interact with you outside of class for maybe club stuff. But then it's usually like somewhat school related. It's a lot harder to actually have a like friendly relationship with your professors because back home it's very the hierarchy is so strong. They're your teachers, they're your superiors. You have to respect them. Here it's a little more casual, which I actually like a lot more. There's a few professors here that I've taken classes with a lot over these 4 years, and they've been amazing in not just school, but like in personal life. Like junior year, I was going through a really rough time. One of my professors, after class, he just kind of like pulled me aside and was like, okay, hey, how are you doing? You don't seem to be doing that well. And then, so yeah, I just like met up with a teacher for coffee in between classes and then like told him about, stuff that I was dealing with. And it was just really nice because it's, yes, they're teachers, but they also just kind of care about you as a person, which is not such a big thing back home, especially in Asian cultures. So that's been a very, very nice improvement.
So there's less power distance or more of a friend.
Yeah, I also think it could be the fact that, you know, it's college and not high school. College, they kind of treat you like, okay, you're a grown-up. You know what you're doing. I can treat you as an equal, sort of, and not just, you know, a little kid who's handing you homework or something like that. So, yeah. I haven't been to see my family in a year and a half now.
Wow.
It's been interesting. Like I feel bad, but I can't say I miss them that much because I love it here. Not Miami necessarily, but like just, you know, the freedom of being in college, the States in general. I've traveled so much over my 4 years here. Thank you, actually, to the school for a lot of those opportunities. New Orleans. And, like, I want to be able to find a job here and stay here because I really like the culture. But at the same time, you know, like, I gotta go back and see my family, spend some time with them for a while. So, right now, what my plan is I'm still applying for jobs here, but, I'm going home for at least a month after I graduate to, you know, family time, and if I don't get a job before I graduate, continue trying to get a job back home, like, you know, over the internet. Hey, wonders of technology. But yeah, that's about it.
Very cool.